Hey everybody, it's Carl again. Just wanted to go ahead and say thank you for joining me on today's best home selling tip. Today we're in tip number 5, common inspection period tricks, right? If you're in this series, you're really here in the top 23 best things that I've learned for home seller, or best home selling tips I've learned in 23 years. There's 23 things that I thought of, I wrote down as a home seller, I felt you needed to know, regardless of where you are in this great United States of ours, because the truth is, many times these situations you'll find yourself in, regardless if you're in Tucson, Arizona, or Tuscaloosa, Alabama. And today is absolutely no different, is the screwing around that people will do with you in the inspection period. So today, let's talk about some of these common inspection period trickeries, right? So the idea here is simply this. As a seller, you need to be informed and well aware, if you will, of the inspection period, and know that things can go on, trickery and little tips and things that can happen, right? And it's nothing to be afraid of. I'm not saying, gosh, don't give somebody an inspection period. You should. You should give them an inspection period. It's only fair for them to have an opportunity to take a look at the property and see what they're buying. But be aware, right? Not beware, but be aware of things that you need to kind of keep an eye out for, right? I wrote down, sellers tend to think everything is going to be a certain way, right? When they're selling. They have expectations, I think you might say, right? If you're selling your property, it might have been a couple years since you sold your home. Back then, you might have had things happen a certain way. You might have even been accustomed to things a certain way. But the truth is, things might have changed since then, and the things that you're used to may not necessarily be the same way today, right? And some of the tips I'm going to share with you today are some of those things I think you probably ought to keep an eye out for, right? Point number 1, I wrote down trying to sell your home during the inspection period. Okay. Now, if I'm going to get any dislikes on this video, it's going to be because of wholesalers, okay? Look, let's just be honest. Wholesalers are from around the United States are going to see some of this video and they're going to say, what are you talking about? Man, don't tell them that, because now they're going to kill our opportunity. What am I talking about when I say point number 1, people trying to sell your home during the inspection period? See, it's very common. Okay, very common. If you have a property that needs repairs or is selling at a discount for cash, for something to an investor, let's say, very common for wholesalers, investors who have really no intention of buying the property to live in it, they just intend to sell it to somebody else. They'll put it under contract, and during the inspection period, they'll have a lot of people come in and out of the house during the inspection period. They have multiple showings for dubious inspectors, right? Or partners, right? People that are going to come through the house at unexpected periods of time. Typically what's going on here is they're not doing anything illegal. I mean, don't get me wrong. What they're doing simply is trying to sell the property during the inspection period. So what's happening is they put your home under contract, right? And during the inspection period, they could cancel the contract for any reason. And their feeling is they got it at such a good price, they're going to turn around and bump up the price and sell it to somebody else at a slightly higher price for cash. So hypothetically, let's say your home is on the market, I don't know, for $100,000, because my math isn't that good, right? And they come to you and they make an offer for, say, $80,000, and you say, okay, great. Well, then they'll turn around and try to sell to somebody else for $85,000, let's say, during the inspection period. So during those 10 days or whatever period of inspection, they'll bring in anybody and everybody through during those periods of time to see if any of those people are willing to buy it from them at that sales price. What ends up happening then is they sign a contract extra to you, and then they close using their money. You get your $80,000, they get $5,000, and everybody, the other guy gets the property, and that's the end of the day. Now, again, it's not illegal, okay? It's not really illegal, but it's something as a licensee or an owner, if you're the listing agent or the owner, you need to be aware of this, okay? This is something that happens all the time. Now, again, it's not anything wrong with it. It's just something you need to be aware of. And if you're okay with that sort of thing, and then that's all right, and you know what's going on, power to you. but you need to be aware of it, because if, let's say, you're in a situation where you need to sell the property very quickly, and let's say you can't afford a deal to fall through at the last minute. You know what I mean? Like, let's say you're about to face foreclosure, and this person's playing games with this, right? And they're trying to sell to somebody else. Well, that could be a problem for you, right? Now, you don't want anything to close at the last minute and screw up, right? I wrote down point number 2, the rope-a-dope, right? The rope-a-dope. Having multiple inspections, multiple days, multiple people, all coming for the same things, right? You got 3, 4 inspectors for the air conditioning, 3 or 4 roof inspectors, you know, a couple people, Uncle Bubba or whoever coming over for the same thing. Usually, when something like this is going on, it's usually to create a mountain of paperwork, a mountain of problems, if you will, right? To justify price reductions. Because then what happens, they come to you and say, well, gosh, you know, we would have loved to buy it from you for X $1,000, but holy cow, we found all these problems, right? It's got a nice little thud factor when it hits the desk, right? When you think about it, that's like a little rope-a-dope, right? They're just kind of waiting for you to get weak, and then when the 10th day comes, the final moment for your inspection period comes, and they got you where they want you, pow, they're asking for the price reduction. Tip number 3, unrealistic expectations or extensions for the inspection period. Beware or be aware of this, right? When you think about it, one extension for a couple days, you know, I get it. I mean, the holidays come up, or escrow, or people that get sick, or the home inspector's busy, or that sort of thing I get, okay? But when you have somebody going out and extending it for multiple, you know, days, weeks, a week, 2 weeks, whatever, holy cow, you want to put a limitation on this, because if they're not going to be able to get rid of this inspection contingency very quickly, okay, well, then this is going to impede your ability to sell the property, because the last thing you want them to do is hold that inspection period until the very last day of closing and then bail on you the day before closing. I've had that happen. I've seen that happen with people before, and it's just terrible. Absolutely horrifying when it happens. Listen, guys, if you're a wholesaler, I'm very sorry if I spilled the beans on you. If you're a homeowner and you felt this was helpful, do me a favor, share it with your friends and your family. I'd love to get their input on it as well. If there's anything I can do for you, feel free to reach out, instant message, direct message, or email or call. I'll be happy to help you in any way. And as always, I hope you have a powerful sales day. Bye-bye.